YouTubers, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Sorry about the get up, guys. I was in the garden, rototilling my garden, and this was sent to me, and I feel that I really need to share this with you guys. How much of this is true? I don't know. But we definitely want to convey in conversation or get into conversation with this. We definitely want to collaborate here. On what's going on here, because this is a big power play move. And like I said, these are all chess pieces on the board waiting to be moved into position. Is Iran in checkmate right now? That is my question to you guys. So for all you gamers out there, is Iran in checkmate? Because U.S. sends B-52 bombers to Middle East as Iran tensions intensify. So this is intense, okay? Intense. And it's scary. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran. Nobody wants war with Iran, people. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran. Nobody. The senseless loss of life it's just not. It's not in favor anymore, and it's not going to help humanity. So here it is, the headline: U.S. to send B-52 bombers to Middle East as Iran tensions intensify. Now, what people need to know is Iran is a superpower. A lot of people think because it's in the Middle East and, you know, it's there. And Iran whipped Saudi Arabia's butt when Saudi Arabia invaded Iran, backed by Western powers to take down Iran. Iran whipped Saudi Arabia when they Iraq's butt when Iraq invaded Saudi Arabia. What a disaster that was, you know. Yeah, the incredible amount of loss of life that we stand to lose is just absolutely phenomenal. And it's just pushing this war narrative, right? Right? If you make everything look like a nail and you're a hammer, remember that famous saying? I don't want to bring it up here because I don't want to get this channel flagged. The U.S. military is sending B-52 bombers to the Middle East to counter what the Trump administration says are clear indications of threats from Iran to U.S. forces there. White House National Security Advisor John Bolton said on Sunday that the U.S. was deploying a carrier to strike up and a bomber task force to the Middle East. You see, Iran is a superpower, and Iran has allies. Iran has Russia, Venezuela. Iran has, I think, even India is on the side of Iran. There's Pakistan, I think. There's a lot of countries, you know, that are allied with Iran. I think China is too. Where do you think China gets most of its sweet oil from? Doesn't get it from Canada. It gets it from the Middle East. Captain Bill Urban, the spokesperson for U.S. Central Command, said the bomber task force would consist of B-52s. U.S. officials, speaking on the condition of anonymity. I don't know why I can't say that word, but anonymity. I don't know. I could never say that word. Said 4 B-52s would be deployed, though that number could change. The U.S. regularly maintained a bomber presence in the region, and B-1 bombers were there as recently as last month. The B-52 is a long-range nuclear-capable bomber. The military also confirmed that the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group had already been scheduled to go to the Middle East, but its movement was expedited due to heightened tensions with Iran. Iran's top security body dismissed the U.S. plan to send forces to the region. Psychological warfare. Announcing details of the force on Tuesday, the U.S. military did not provide specific details of intelligence it may have about Iranian threats. Of course they're not, right? Last time they did that with Iraq, they kind of had to, yeah, you know what happened with that, right? U.S. Central Command, which is responsible for the U.S. operations in the Middle East and Afghanistan, requested additional forces following recent and clear indications that Iran and proxy forces were making preparation to possibly attack U.S. forces in the region, Captain Urban said. He said the credibility of those threats was based on a source and methods through which the information was obtained, something the U.S. military was not able to discuss. I hope it wasn't the same people that got the information on Iraq having weapons of mass destructions, right? What is it? WOMDs, weapons of mass destructions. I hope it's not the same task force that's actually working that out for them, or the same intelligence. I hope not. The military has said the threat of the U.S. Forces was to land and sea, but declined to provide further details. U.S. Central Command continues to track a number of credible threats streams emanating from the regime in Iran throughout the CENTCOM area of responsibility, Captain Urban said. U.S. officials have told Reuters that intelligence was based on specific and credible threats to U.S. forces in Iraq, Syria, and the border region. The U.S. officials speaking on the condition of anonymity, sorry guys, I can't say that word, said there were indications that Iran appeared to be moving short-range ballistic missiles on boats in the Middle East. The United States has previously accused Iran of providing parts such as missiles to the Houthi rebels in Yemen fighting Saudi-led coalition backed by the United States. So if you guys don't know what's happening in Yemen, it's been like 8-9 years now. It's been under many years. It's been under Saudi bombardment, invasion, and just absolute disaster happening in Yemen. Just beyond what you guys could imagine, and the death toll in Yemen and the amount of fostered and homeless children is just beyond imaginability. A lot of people, it's called the hidden war. I like to call the Yemenis war the hidden war, or the obscure war, or the quiet war, or the war. So this is it, guys. I'm deploying strike group. I'm not liking this, guys. United States sending aircraft carrier and bombers to Middle East to deter Iran. Oh, Christ. Nobody wants to go to war. I mean, there's the Strait of Hormuz here. This Iran could easily take control of that and shut that down. And lots of trade vessels do go through there. I want to know from you guys. And I want you guys to be really honest with me, okay? What has Iran really done, realistically? You know, I think Saudi has more blood on their hands. I think there's a lot of countries in the Middle East that have a lot more blood on their hands than Iran does. That's just my opinion, guys. I don't know anything. I just don't want to get my channel flagged, right? So I'm going to leave it up to opinion for you guys to comment in the comments below, and maybe we could discuss this in a more of, like, I know Iran has a major military. Let's look at their allies first. Let's see who's allied with these guys. They got treaties, disputes. Okay, so these are relations by country. So this is Algeria, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Egypt, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Libya, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, Sudan, Zimbabwe, and then the Americas, Argentina. Okay, these are just people they trade with. I want Iranian allies. Okay, revolutionary, foreign affairs. Okay. Allies of war. Who do they have? Russia. Okay, this is the axis of evil that was brought up many times. Let's see if we can get to it here. I know that Russia, and I know Russia's totally backing Iran. They have huge Eurasian trade. I'm not getting an entire list here. Oh, this is Iran-Russia relations. I'm sorry. Iran, allies of war. So Russia keeps coming up everywhere. Here we go. Russia again. So we're going to see what happens. There's quite a bit happening. Let's see Iran military might. We should see those the parades they have. Here it is. I mean, it opens up a link for you, but then you got to go search for it. You know what I'm saying? It's worse than having to go through an encyclopedia. I mean, it tells you there in the list, but when you click on it, it doesn't give it to you here. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to read off what this says here. Active personnel, 532,000, including 220,000 in reserve. There we go. Global firepower. Okay, available manpower. Oh, what? Total population, 83 million. Available manpower, 47 million. Fit for service, 39 million. Reaching military rate annually, 1.394 million. Total military personnel, 873,000. Active personnel, 523,000. Reserve personnel, 350,000. Fighters, total aircraft strength, 509. Fighters, 142. Attack, 165. Transports, 89. Trainers, 104. Look, some of these are ranked in the top 10 and top 20, eh? Helicopter strength, 126, 34th in the world. Attack helicopter, 12. Combat tanks, 1,634, ranked number 18. Armored vehicle fighting, armored fighting vehicles, 2,354. Self-propelled artillery, 570. Towed artillery, 2,128. Rocket projectors, 1,900. Naval assets, 0. Aircraft carriers, 6 frigates, 0 destroyers, 3 corvettes, 34 submarines, 88 patrol vessels, and 3 mine warfares. So their production, 4,469,000,000 barrels per day. They consume 1.8 million barrels per day. Proven reserves, 158 billion or trillion barrels per day. Labor force, 30 million. Merchant marine strength, 739. Major ports and terminals, 3. Roadway coverage, 172,000 kilometers. Railway coverage, 8,442 kilometers. Serviceable airports, 319. Defense budget, 6 billion, 300 million. External debt, 7 billion. So, reserve of foreign exchange in gold, 120 billion. Purchasing power, parity, 1,757,000,000,000, 500 million. And square mileage of land, 1.6 million. Coastline, 2,440 kilometers. Shared borders, almost 6,000 kilometers, and 850 kilometers of waterway. So I think Iran's military strength is a lot better than what Iraq was when the second Gulf War II, right? So let's find out what's going to happen, guys. I hope nothing happens. I hope this is just a flash in the pan. I hope it's a scare tactic. I really hope it's not a false flag. Let me know what you guys think. Iran, U.S., is U.S. just saber rattling? Are they flexing their military might? Is that what's going on, guys? Are they just flexing their military might and basically wanting to show what is going? You know what I'm saying, right? Are they just doing that for the sake of scaring people? I hope that's just it. I hope it's just, you know, because the loss of human life is just phenomenal over the last decade. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Thanks for watching, okay?